from Clyde and Terry's Along the Gringo Trail. This video today we're doing is on why Terry and I decided to move to Panama. There's a lot of different countries out there and places to retire, and we wanted to share our private reasons and personal reasons for retiring to Panama. As a firefighter in Corpus Christi, Texas, I got to retire a little early. I was 57 when it was time to retire. And as I prepared myself for retirement, I realized that I wasn't going to truly retire. There just wasn't enough money to retire on. My expenses were going to be too high. My biggest expense being health insurance. So I had to find a place that was more affordable for us to retire. Started doing a little research, looking around. Actually, the top place that popped up was Panama. So we did our research on Panama and also compared it to some other countries. We realized that we had to get out of the United States in order to truly retire. So I want to talk about Panama and why we chose it. Like I mentioned, the very number one reason was affordability. The cost of living is lower. However, whenever you think about moving somewhere with a lower cost of living, you also have to pair that with infrastructure. What good does it do to go to a grass hut and live for pennies a day when you have no infrastructure? You've got to have decent roads, electricity, water, for us, internet. These things are all important to us. And Panama does have a great infrastructure. The reason for that being is the United States has been in Panama for many years. They helped build the infrastructure, and the Panamanians just kept on building on what the Americans built to begin with. Great roads. No, not the roads aren't like the United States, but for a Latin country, they're good roads. Fairly dependable electricity and water. The internet is wonderful. The cell phone network is wonderful here. Another thing on the affordability section is the pensionado visa. Panama offers a visa for retirees that bring in a certain amount of money per month. They call this the pensionado visa. You get this visa and it gives you the opportunity to live here as a resident, and you have discounts everywhere. And I'd like to read you a list of some of these discounts. Number one is 50% off recreation and entertainment, including sporting events, ballet, park, movies, theater. What's crazy, a movie ticket here is $4. With your pensionado discount, it's $2. 25% off restaurants. Now fast foods, it's 15% off. 30% off public transportation, meaning boats, trains, and the bus. 25% off international and domestic airline flights. Now these tickets have to be bought in Panama. 10% off prescription medications, which are inexpensive to begin with. 15% off dental and eye exams. 50% off of closing costs for a home loan. And 20% off medical services such as doctor visits and surgery. Now this 20% only counts if you don't have insurance. Now here's the biggie. 25% off all of your light bills, your water bills, and your cable bills. 25% off your utilities. You also get a 20-year tax exemption on new construction. Whether you buy a new house or build a new house, you do not pay property taxes for 20 years. They also allow a one-time exemption for import of your household goods up to $10,000 without paying duty on them. So when you move to Panama and bring your stuff, there's no duty on it. One of the benefits of being a pensionado is as you go to the banks or to pay your bills and things like that, they have a pensionado line. It's a separate, shorter line. And I really sometimes hate to do this, but I'll walk into a business and there'll be a line 10 people deep. It's like, oh gosh, I'm going to be here a while. And then I look up and there's 2 people in the pensionado line. Even though I'm 58 years old now, I go stand in line with the other retirees. Enough about the pensionado visa. Another great thing about Panama is they use the dollar as their currency. There's no worry about what your dollar is worth compared to a foreign bill, what the exchange rate is. Also wanted to explain to you why Panama charges less taxes than other countries. They have this one big thing that splits a country right in half called the Panama Canal. Panama Canal is busy with ships going from the Pacific to the Caribbean all day, all night long. and each ship that passes through has to pay big fees. This canal gives the government a lot of money for infrastructure. So therefore, they don't have to tax the heck out of their citizens. Panama Canal, very important in Panama. Soon to come is the free trade agreement, and I think it might have even just been passed the last few days. And what this is going to do is allow American goods to come into Panama without duty. So the prices of American goods are going to drop. Whenever you go to a foreign country, you've got to have housing that's available. There is affordable housing available in Panama for all types of budgets. There's a lot of housing here to rent and to purchase. Now overall, I'd like to say that we save most on our budget with health care, utilities, and taxes. I'll get into the health care in a little bit, but the utilities. My water bill is $5 a month. My trash bill is, I think, $4 a month. My electricity, since we don't have to use air conditioning, $30 a month. Now, my internet and we've got satellite TV, those cost me about $80, so that's kind of like on the top end of my bills. And then cell phone. I do a prepaid cell phone, so cell phone is like $5 a month. What the Panamanians do is they use propane to heat water to cook with, and we have small bottles that we use for these that are government subsidized. And a small bottle of propane is like $4.75 a can. These are even bigger than the American bottles of propane. So that's pretty darn affordable also. One of the things that I like about Panama is they use on-demand hot water heaters. The water is not heated by the propane until you use it. You don't have a big tank of water being heated all day, all night long to use it just a few times. So, healthcare, utilities, and taxes where we save our money. Well, let me talk about healthcare.